Hey, hey, hey. It is Soul Food Sunday. Yeah, thanks, Shell, because when you have it like that, I can hear the background noise. I mean, it like kind of does a echo. But hi everybody. I'm on here. This is June Hollingsworth on here with my family, Niecy at the top next to me, and my daughter Shell at the bottom. And we are going to talk about why female relationships are so difficult. There's 6 of you that have jumped on already. You can say hi as you come on. Hey, Shay. Hey, hey, hey. She said, hey, June and family. You might, I don't know. You probably just got to turn the volume down a little bit, Shelly. You might not have to turn it, mute yourself.
It did the same thing last time we were on here, and I put it on mute, and then when I took it off, it stopped the echo. So I don't know.
I don't hear it now. Hey, Alexis.
Same thing. Last time it did the same thing.
I think that was my phone I was jumping on.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Good to see you guys jumping on. There's 11 of you guys on here already. Hey, Maxine. Good to see you guys. Yeah, we're going to chop it up tonight about female relationships. Good to see you guys jumping on. Hey, Terry, you made it. Good to see you. Hey, Pastor Dorothy, good to see you. I'm making an announcement right now to everybody. This ain't church. So if you're getting on here thinking you're getting ready to hear scriptures and nearer thy God to thee, this ain't that. This is not church tonight. We are not going to be giving messages of inspiration, none of that. This is Soul Food Sunday. Last time we were talking about church and stuff, but tonight this is about relationships with women. So we're going to jump right into it. I wanted to ask a situational question. You said in prophecy. No, Terry, don't even try it. Don't even go there. A situational question, because we were just sitting on the phone like a couple weeks ago talking about how it's so hard to have really good, or put it this way, to have relationships without drama and trauma throughout. It's like, why? I love you too, hon. It's like, why? So I was talking to a friend of mine not too long ago. Well, I posed this question more than once, and it's all over the board with the answers. So you guys can chime in tonight and give your opinions. We will definitely read your answers or put them up on the screen. So here's the first scenario that I want to start out tonight's show with. You walk into a restaurant and your best friend's husband has been suspected of cheating. Your best friend has talked to you about him, saying that she thinks that he's cheating, but she can't prove it. She's never been able to find any type of evidence, but she just has a gut feeling that her husband is cheating because the phone rings. He always has to go out the room sometimes to answer it at night, or he doesn't make certain situations, like as far as certain they'll have certain like dates together where he has to cancel at the last minute. Just things have just been suspect. So you go to a neighboring city for a luncheon with a coworker. You guys are meeting at this restaurant for business, and and it's a neighboring city. It's not the city where you and your best friend and husband live. You walk into the restaurant and there he is with another woman. You can't give him the benefit of the doubt. Why? Because he's hugged up with her and kissing her and does not see you. What do you do? Do you tell your best friend or not? Do you confront the husband? How do you handle that?
Well, I've been in a similar situation like that before.
Mm-hmm.
If it's my best friend, I'm definitely going to tell her. I'm going to confront the husband, but it ain't much conversation that's going to be had. All I'm going to say to him is, you better get to her before I do. And that's and I'm going to tell her. I'm definitely going to tell her. But I will say this too. If it is my best friend, then my best friend knows that whatever you choose, I'm going to be there to support you, because that's her journey. Because I think the mistake that women make is they have an expectation that their friends are going to behave the way that they want them to, or the way that they feel like they should. And then they find themselves in the middle. Well, you should leave them. Well, if they don't leave them, then it's like they have to choose between them or you.
Exactly.
You know.
Right.
But you know, you gotta be there to support your friend on whatever her journey is. Just
Well, I'm gonna tell
I've
you.
been there, and I mean, I would take pictures. You know,
Wait,
I'm getting a photo with my camera. I'm gonna get a photo with my camera that you all colludeling and gadoodling with this broad.
Okay.
So when I send it to her and say I'll be by your house in 5 minutes, crack a bottle of wine open. But on the opposite side of that, it can backfire. I've had friends that have gotten upset with me and mad and didn't speak to me and still haven't spoken to me because of that.
That's something.
Because you went and told them that you caught their husband cheating?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was, I don't believe it, or I don't believe you, or he wouldn't do that to me. You're making this up. So it can backfire. It can go either way. But I would definitely take a picture.
This is what Ronnie says. Stay out of it. Don't get involved because you'll be blamed and hated by both parties no matter what.
If it's my best friend, though, my best friend, I can't stay out of it. I have a moral obligation to say something. Now, if it's just, you know, we just friends,
a random, casual person,
we'll stay out of it. I don't want anything to do with that. But what would be the consequences of not saying anything? My friend would feel betrayed.
Yeah.
Like if I don't say nothing, I seen your husband cadoodling, as Niecy say, up in the restaurant somewhere, and I don't say nothing. It's
how would she find out? How would she find out that you saw her man? How would she find out?
What's in the dark? What's in the dark always comes.
Picture. Take a picture.
You're right. You're right. Definitely. You need to see.
This is what Terry said. That's me, Denise. Matter of fact, I'm telling this heifer to smile you on candy camera.
Boom.
Listen, this is what I would do. I would walk up to them in the restaurant and confront him right in front of her. I surely would. I would walk right up to them. The only time that actually happened to me, and I didn't have the guts to do it because it was a pastor who was up in there with another man. And there was all types of rumors that he was gay, bisexual. And I was in Chicago and was at the Grand Lux.
And I was with you. So I remember.
And I said, how you doing?
That was so uncomfortable.
Right. And it was like, there was no way in the world. Now that's a situation where you could never say nothing, because I'm looking at this pastor and remember how crazy he looked?
He
was we walked by and said hi.
He was cadoodling.
He was cadoodling, honey.
And so there was no, I mean, what was that? Oh, you've been suspected of being a homosexual or being bisexual, and now you up in here with your lover. He would have, ain't no telling what he would have said. I have no proof of that just because he's sitting up there with another man. But with the woman in the situation that I gave, he was kissing her. So I would, in that situation, I would walk up and say, this is interesting. I would have that would have been my first.
Where's Marjorie?
Right. That would have been my first comment. This is interesting. Wow. And then we would have decided where to go from there.
Right. Yeah.
And he would have known that I was gonna say something. Denise Terry, she said, Denise, you should have been there, because I know by the time the bill came, the wife would have been there.
Okay.
You got it. I would have sent her the picture and said, meet me at the Red Hawk Drive restaurant. I got something to show you. I'm sending you the picture now.
But yeah, I mean, the guy that just made the comment, he said to stay out of it. I'm not going, for me, I probably wouldn't tell my best friend right away, but I would walk up to the table and confront the man for sure.
Oh, I'm telling.
I'm definitely telling.
I'm gonna be singing like a
the guys always stay out of it. They ain't none of your business. They stay out of it. They don't want nothing to do with it.
That's the guy code. That's the guy code. They gonna stay out of it.
Their friends will give them a pass, but women are not going to forgive you if you have that kind of information and you don't let them know. I would feel some kind of way if my best friend saw my man and cadoodling and didn't say nothing to me about it, and I know you knew, I would feel some kind of way.
Because at some point he would tell her, well, Rochelle saw me and her in the restaurant and didn't say anything to us. Now you threw me in the mix.
This what Ronnie, he says again, your best friend will now become your worst enemy. Situation is too emotional. Don't something about don't have friends end up, that's how friends end up dead. You don't know how people will react. Some people go crazy once they are discovered. I mean,
Not
that's
always.
the stance that you take.
Yeah.
That's not always the case.
Yeah, true. I'm gonna eventually, like, first of all, when I walk up to the table, bust them out, and then I ask the woman, "Did you know he's married? You know he's married, right?" I mean, I'm gonna have a whole conversation.
Yeah,
and then I'm going to contact him because I probably have his phone number. If he's my best friend's man, I probably have both their numbers. And I'm gonna ask him, either you're gonna tell her, or I'm gonna tell her. You gonna tell her tonight?
You better get to it.
Gonna tell her, because I'm gonna tell her. I would let him know I'm going to tell her, but immediately I would confront him right then and there in the restaurant.
No doubt.
Yeah, I would definitely, but I'm not hollering and screaming. I'm not having it. Ain't got to be a long, drawn out conversation.
No. I'm going to ask you, where's Marjorie? And then I'm going to take a picture.
Right. Get your lie right.
I never thought about taking a picture. Now, taking a picture is a great idea.
Yeah, absolutely. I need her to see the proof that he's cheating on you. Not just my word, but I need you to see him in this restaurant canoodling with this chick.
Because if you don't have the picture, you ain't got no proof. And there you go again with his word against your word.
Right.
Now, okay, so tonight we're talking about why relationships are so hard with women. I'm gonna give Tanya Winfield some credit because she's on the thread earlier today, and she said one of the reasons is we give men more grace than we do women.
That's true.
I think there's some truth to that.
Very true.
Yeah. Men can do stuff and we forgive them. Women do stuff and we don't. I mean, why do we give men more grace than women? Is it just because it's
something that has been taught? We've been taught to be more, what's the word? Respectful, more giving, more forgiving to men than we have to women. When you think about it, it's like how we were raised. You are obedient to your husband or your man or whatever the case may be, and all of that crap falls into the same bullshit. But I'm not going to go into that. Go on with your statement, TT, because I'll spin out some stuff I shouldn't even be saying.
But you're right though, because we've been conditioned to.
We have been conditioned. That's the word I was looking for.
Men are going to be men, and so we're supposed to, give them passes. No, not. I think maybe earlier in life, but. Those are deal breakers for me. I don't.
For real.
They're deal breakers for me. When I was young, maybe. Yeah, I gave lots of passes, but
not anymore.
Not anymore.
Right. Exactly. I mean, and then it's how it's modeled, how the behavior is modeled to you growing up. Me and Denise can say how we watched our mother take a lot of stuff, and just stuffed it.
It shouldn't have.
We have a family joke about how our mom, a man cannot do no wrong.
Yeah, true.
No wrong at all. And the women, you can go up and say, "Here, let me help you with your cane." I got it. And then
exactly.
Exactly. Let me help you with your cane. Okay. I mean, and Mama, our grandmother was the same way.
Yeah.
I mean, before she died, a week before she died, she had the male nurse in there painting her fingernails.
You got to be kidding.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't hear that story.
She was polishing her fingernails. And then 2 or 3 days before that happened, Ariola came to visit and she had her sitting there crying.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that one.
Me and Niecy went in there to visit, give her medicine. And what you giving me? She didn't want to take it.
What you doing, Rochelle? What is that? I'm like, I said, seriously, you were doing the most.
We need to, I'm going to tell you this, for me with female relationships, my expectations were always too high. I saw this one pastor put on there this week on Facebook and said, "Stop expecting you from them." And he said, "Bye." One statement. My expectations were too high from some of my friends. I just expected them to think like me, be giving like me, be patient like me, we expect them to be loving like we are. And when we don't get that in return, you don't understand. Why don't you see that you not answering my text messages for 4 days is crazy? Why don't you see that that's crazy?
I've learned to let people be who they are in a relationship, who they can be with who you are, because when you have high expectations, it's always going to fail. My problem is I'm the type of friend, I'm ride or die. If you need money, I got you. If you need food, I'm gonna feed you. If there's a fight, I'm already there starting and waiting on you to get there. That's the kind of friend I am. I'm that kind of loyal friend, and I expect that to be reciprocated. But I've learned over time, people can't be that. They only can be what they can be to you. And so that's what I'm going to start being to them. And I've learned that over time. You know, I've had friends that slept with my exes in my house.
Wow.
I'm talking about when I consider you a friend, I consider you like family, because I don't take a lot of people in as a friend.
That's true.
You know, there's only a few people I consider that are friends. So when you're a friend to me, you're like family. And then when you betray me and you sleep with my ex, you know, or you're shady on, you like just sometimey friends or them iffy friends, you know, I can go down the list of all of that. I don't want to deal with it. And I don't understand. To me, I think what is inside certain women, what's broken in you, or what has wounded you, that you take that and you project it onto the relationship of a friend that you have. Like whatever that problem is that's inside of you, instead of being a true friend, everything you're projecting negative onto that relationship, that friendship. And that's so unfair. If you were hurt by somebody, every time you're in a relationship, whether it's two friends or a man or whatever, you're projecting that negativity into that relationship, and that relationship can't grow. So I don't understand why there's so many women out there who are just in a negative space and they can't connect with each other. I don't get that.
Hey, Linda. She said hi to everybody. Linda Whitfield. You know, okay, so let me put this disclaimer out there. What I'm getting ready to say, if you are an associate, an affiliate, or a comrade, a friend of mine, this ain't about you.
Correct.
Really. Let me just say that. What I'm getting ready to say, if it happens to be your life situation, I am not talking about you. I just want to say that. But it's been my personal experience, because I've at one time had everybody knows, two salons, and between the two salons, when they were fully staffed, I had like 20 contractors working for me. I've been over 60 something people at my job at one point. And the hardest female relationships for me, not all of them, but when I had one that was rough and went sour, it was women that had either no relationship with their mother or a really bad relationship.
Yes.
Those women, for me, have gave me the most hell in a friendship, and not all of them, okay? But it's been like they try to get out of me what they want from their mother. They see me as this kind of like they see the mother figure in you, or there's something in you that attracts them that they want, that they never got out of the relationship with their mom. And so when you don't fulfill that expectation, then you're attacked.
Yeah.
And that's been, for me, I'm just saying my personal experience, that's been the hardest for me.
Yeah.
Those kind of women. So when they don't have a good relationship with their mom, to me, it's difficult for them to have a good relationship with the woman, because it's never been modeled. The behavior's never been modeled. They don't have nothing to draw from. And the bottom line is, we all got to do the work and quit blaming anything from our past on why we acting, a butt now.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
My other thing is, why do women, if you're in a new relationship, why do your friends check out, have a problem with it? Why is it an issue for them?
Yeah.
You're happy.
Or with me, I have this experience in the secular world and the ecclesial world, that women that are married, because I'm single, and maybe there should be boundaries, I don't know, but they treat me according to their trust issues.
Yes, that is so true.
I don't want your ninja, and I don't care.
Right.
If he was the last piece of tail on earth, I don't want him.
I don't want him.
And
Fix what's broken inside of you.
Oh my God, I have that from all the way from pastors' wives all the way down to folks in the street.
Yeah.
Have treated me that way because I'm single. And it's almost like the ugly duckling syndrome. Just wait until I turn into a swan. I'm gonna show y'all niggas something.
Right. Right.
That's how you feel.
Right.
You know? Just wait.
Exactly.
Wait when I get mine, see how I act. That's how you want to do. Because
Right.
you're like, you're judging me according to your mess.
Yeah.
It's not fair to me.
No, it's not.
I don't think they're really friends because I can't say in my life that I can remember anyway that I've had one friend where there was ever a situation where I thought they were trying to come on to my man or vice versa. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute, wait. Roll that back. What'd you just say?
I don't think unless I'm forgetting something. Am I forgetting something? I don't think that I've ever had a friend where they thought, I wanted their man or vice versa.
I have.
I mean, you have?
How do you deal with that? How do you deal with that?
You gotta have. I have had a conversation, and I would say, what's the problem? Do you think I want Joe? Because every time if she goes to the bathroom and him and I are sitting at the table, she's in and out quick, and she's like, "What happened while I was in the bathroom?"
Wow.
We were just sitting here talking, waiting on you.
Right.
That's what was happening. Or if I come over and he's there, well, he's getting ready to go, or he's gonna go to his room because it's just gonna be me and you. And I'm like, first of all, I don't want your man. There's nothing. I've never given you any reason to even think that about me. I've been a loyal friend. So I don't even know why you feel that way. Oh no, I'm just saying, he don't need to be around women all the time. No, I'm picking up on the fact that you think I want this dude. I don't want that nigga.
But you know what? I think I just remembered something while you was talking. This was long time ago. Y'all told me this girl wasn't my friend. I think you might know who I'm talking about, Mom. It was a long time ago. You said she's not your friend. She's not your friend. And I remember that when I was much younger. Everybody who I was dating, she tried to date. I just remember that, and ended up having a baby by somebody by one of my exes. She ended up having a baby by one of my exes, and not long ago, and when I say not long ago, I mean I want to say in the last couple of years, one of my exes told me that he slept with her after we broke up. A second ex.
Wow.
My high school sweetheart, you know who he is. He slept with her, and I don't know why he wanted to confess that to me because it obviously happened, a few decades ago. But yeah, told me that, and the friendship ended when her man came on to me, and I told her about it. That he came on to me. I obviously, no, this ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? It ain't never gonna happen. And then when I would come around, he would have an attitude, and all of a sudden he couldn't stand me. He don't like me, obviously, because he didn't came.
Because he didn't give you no dick.
Exactly. And so when I told her, I don't know why he's acting like this. Well, I know why he's acting like this because it's what happened. And then at that point, our friendship was over with. She didn't want nothing else to do with me. Because her man,
those kind of women are not even friends. Hey, Greta. She said, hey, everybody.
Hey.
To me, it's like to have a really good friendship with a woman. I feel like somebody that's really gonna be your friend is not gonna discuss you with other people. Like tear you down, put your stuff out there. I mean, they're gonna really be there for you.
Yeah.
And I feel like a really good friendship, you should be able to air your dirty laundry, your nasty to each other. You should be able to say what you don't like. It's like there's some friendships where I'm afraid to say something because if I do, she gonna pop off. But what kind of friendship is that?
Right, exactly.
And if the friendship is toxic, if you can't fix that toxicity, I feel like it needs to end, even if it's only for a season. Like they say, there's reasons, seasons, and lifetimes.
Yes.
So where do they fit? And you need to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had a friend. You know how you have a friend, you have friends, 2 or 3 friends, and you guys get together. And maybe there was a situation that didn't go right that night. And you call the other friend about friend number 1 and say, look, let me spend something to you and see how how you feel about it. And, let me come by there and I'm going to come by tomorrow. We'll discuss it. And you let me know if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm seeing things, the wrong way. I just need an outside opinion. Maybe I took it the wrong way. I get over there. You got this broad hide in the other room hearing my whole conversation. Like, wow. I had a conversation with her, but I was asking your opinion. Was I over the top? Did I see it the wrong way? I just wanted another opinion, another set of eyes. But instead of you respecting that, you call her before I get there, and she's in the other room.
That's crazy.
Yeah, really? I think some women look at that like betrayal. Like, you're never supposed to ever have a conversation about anything that we talk about or that we go through. But you need to be able to do that. You need to have a safe place and a safe connection with someone where you can bounce ideas off of, like you just said, maybe I am wrong, or I need to vent because this happened, and you need someone else's perspective, to help with growth. If nothing else,
let me tell you something else too,
treacherous.
As far as with women and what I've learned about as far as judging, like a mistake that somebody made, or they may have fallen, and like how Tanya said that we give men way more grace than we do women, and then I remember Aunt Riola used to always say, what she still does, we want mercy for ourselves and judgment for others, and I think about that. And so down through my life, I think about when I made my worst judgment calls when it comes to love, sex, or anything. It was when I was the loneliest in my life.
Yeah.
Loneliness will make you do stuff,
some crazy stuff
that you wouldn't believe you would do. I'm telling you. I have looked back, and when they say, if God would say you can erase 1 year in your life and never have to be judged on it, exactly what year that would be.
Exactly.
You can think back. And I said, the only time that I was so stupid and vulnerable, and then you look back and you're like, what was I thinking? What was I thinking when I did that?
Yeah.
And it's when you are lonely, when a woman is really, really lonely, you do the dumbest stuff.
Yeah.
The dumbest stuff.
I don't, and y'all know me because y'all family. I don't give a lot of grace to men, and you guys know this about me.
Yes,
exactly. I give no grace. I have no tolerance. I have no patience. I have none of that.
You will
none
in the face with your fist.
Boop.
But it's because of all the stuff that you've been through. But when it comes to women, it's like, okay. No, Shelly, when you were saying that somebody slept with somebody else's ex, that's the code. That's the code. But if that happens, then it's like, do we want to take the time to figure out where was that woman at when she did that? What made her do that? What made her actually go there? Is she ratchet? Is she just a hoe? Is that her personality? Or was it just something in her life where she just fell apart and was a big?
You gotta have that conversation with her. You got to have that conversation, because you'll never know, and you'll always wonder, why did she do this to me?
Yeah.
Have that conversation. She might tell you, bitch, I'm just a hoe.
You know
you never know. You never know.
And I've had somebody say that not too long ago, because I was having that conversation with Shelly, and I would keep all the names private, but it was like, why would you eat? The person went back and had the conversation and had the nerve to ask them, why did you do that?
Right.
And asked them, how was it? And they told them how it was. Why would you even want to ask an ex how a woman
how was it
with your ex? Why would you even want to know that?
I don't even want to know that.
Stupid.
I could care less.
In your head, dummy. Why
right.
That?
I don't want to know that. I didn't want to know you slept with him, let alone how it was.
Right. I don't want nobody's ex nothing.
Nothing.
Hat or Z. Like, I don't really understand. If it's somebody who I know intimately, why would I want anything that you've had? I don't want nothing you've had.
Right.
Not Nathan.
But let me say this. I was watching Mary J. Blige on The Breakfast Club. Okay. She did her interview in June after her My Life biopic documentary.
Mm-hmm.
And she was talking about Kendu Isaacs and the divorce and all the stuff that she went through. And I'm like, she had to pay this joker. I mean, he asked for
an
outlandish amount of maintenance, and the judge gave him $35,000 a month. And then he went back in recently and wanted it doubled. But she started talking about forgiveness. What, Shelley?
I said, wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm like, and they ain't even got no kids together.
None.
But she started talking about forgiveness. And Charlamagne said to her, do you really feel like just because you forgive somebody, do you have to F with them again? You know, Charlamagne is just ratchet. No. And she said, no. She made the statement, forgiveness does not mean reconciliation.
No, exactly. Exactly.
I learned that a while ago.
She said, because just because I've forgiven you don't mean I want you at my table, because if you are, I have to continually be reminded about how I have to keep forgiving you.
Exactly.
And it's enough work for me just to do the forgiveness part. And then God has to come in. She didn't say this. I'm adding this part about how God has to come in and do the rest. Because once we forgive, that's an act out of our mouth.
Yes.
But when it comes to our soul doing it, you need God to help you finish the work for real. And so there's some people, I feel like there's some situations where yes, reconciliation is the whole picture, because that's the whole piece. That's the love piece. But when it's just some folks that you ain't got to deal with, you're not required to have reconciliation with the people. And people feel like forgiveness means you got to take them back in your circle. Even with chicks, women that you're friends with, you don't have to take them back in your circle.
No,
I don't.
You do not.
Absolutely do not. And I'm okay with that. And if they're not okay, I'm okay. I make it clear.
If you, what do you mean if they ain't okay, you okay? What do you mean by that?
Because they'll feel like, well, you forgave me, so we should still be able to key and kick it. And no, we can't.
No.
And if you're not okay with that,
then people will say, well, then you haven't forgiven me because you
exactly. They'll say that, but I've forgiven you. I just don't want you around.
Yeah, right. So it's like when she made that statement, I said, man, that is really something to think about, because actually I used to feel guilty. Like if I forgive somebody, that means I have to fool with them again.
But you don't.
You don't. You absolutely don't.
And as long as your heart is clear, I mean, I have let people go. I have let a small handful of people go, but it takes me a lot to get to that point. I mean, years and years to get to that point, because I love my people. Yeah. So when I let you go, I have made a decision. You have become toxic. Yes. And I don't see any in this moment, or in this time anyway, you're going to do more damage to me than good. And so I'm going to let you go on over there. I'll forgive you. I don't wish you no ill will, but I ain't effing with you like that. No. Not right now anyway. Maybe something will happen in the future. I'll remain open to it, but I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it anymore. And especially not with no friends. I have been in friendships where women, I know that I have been a much better friend to them. I have had women tell me, you are a better friend to me than I am to you. But then you continue to expect that I keep taking your lackluster friendship, knowing you've made this, you've made this confession, and I'm supposed to keep taking your BS, and keep being used even, No, I'm not going to do that. No, bye. I'm not going to do that. You can go on over there with that.
But I don't feel like if it's a real toxic relationship, I'm done with it. There's no open door later on down the road. Like if you slept with my ex and you've done X, Y, and Z, things that are extremely toxic, I don't want you around me anymore. It's a wrap. Well, I'll see you on the other side.
If you slept with my ex, that's the end of the relationship as far as I'm concerned. That's it. It's severed right then and there. I mean, if we were friends and that happened, I'm like, no, bye.
You ain't never been my friend ever.
I'm talking about somebody that was a real friend to me, that I at least I thought they were a good friend. and they end up sleeping with my ex. I'm like, really? Is this what we're doing? Yeah, I can't go back. I can't leave the door open, you know.
And then Ronnie said forgiveness is for your own well-being. Yes, Ronnie, it absolutely is. Forgiveness is for you. It's for the person. Like I was watching Oprah years and years ago. I keep bringing up these different people that come to my mind, and she said she was holding a grudge, and then she was down on Michigan Avenue, and saw this chick down there shopping with all kind of bags and stuff. She said she ain't even thinking about me. And I'm holding this grudge, and she had tons of bags and was going into one of the stores, maybe Saks Fifth Avenue or something, and was laughing and joking with a friend. And she said she's not even thinking about me. No, forgiveness is definitely for you.
It is
absolutely for the person, because it's like what do they say? Unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
Right.
Basically, what it is.
Right.
So I find that one of the hardest things for me is when I realize a person is toxic for me, to completely cut them out of my life. That has been something. And I think, Shelly, with you being, a chip off of me, so to speak, you fall in that same category. It's like, I said I was going to make a t-shirt that says a woman's heart is like a vault. When you're in, and when you're out, you're out. And that's the way we are in our family. It's like once you're out, it'll take the Father
Jesus. It'll take Jesus to make an appearance in my bedroom and wake me up.
Right. Black Jesus. Jesus Levante Christ.
Black Jesus. No, you did not say Jesus Levante. It's because you have taken so much by that time.
Yeah.
That it's like divorcing a man. It took me so long to get to the point of divorce. Greta said I couldn't go back to a relationship that betrayed me. I forgive you, but will not forget it. Yeah, right. This is what she said. I'm gonna put up on the
truth.
She said I couldn't go back to a relationship that betrayed me.
Not at all.
Yeah, but by the time I got to divorce court, it was so much trauma in my soul over the years.
Yeah.
There was no way to recover. And I'm that same way in a relationship with a woman. It's like I have taken so much over the years, and some might feel like, what have you taken? I ain't did nothing. Well, you never see what you do to someone else. You never do. And it's like with my second marriage, I'm actually standing on a back porch in Florida, and the Lord said, I want you to do two things. Go home and refinance your house and get a divorce. He had to tell me to leave him because the abuse had gotten so bad. So it's like we stay too long. We stay way too long. And those people feel like you will never go because you're always there. You always reconcile. And another thing too is what you feel is, I don't want to say trauma because that's pretty deep, but just ill treatment. They don't see anything wrong with it. They feel like, what are you tripping about?
Exactly. Yeah, they do. I have a short fuse for shenanigans, whether it's female or male. It's like, one time I'm done, because I'm not gonna keep putting myself in a harm's way or in a toxic relationship. And I see you doing this. I see you doing it not to me, just to other friends that were around. I'm not dealing with that. It's not fair. I shouldn't have to deal with it to be your friend, for us to be friends. You need to fix what's broken inside of you before you decide to have a friendship, because it's not working. And I don't have tolerance for that at all. And y'all know me, so I don't even have to go into that. None.
Hey, Aunt Riola. She said, hey,
Aunt Riola. I see her.
Hey, Auntie.
And this is the thing. I will take all of the heavy stuff that has happened in my previous friendships, that I've let go. After that, it don't take but a little bitty small little thing. And I'm like, I'm done. Okay, I'm done. It's the simplest thing. And I'm sure I've left them with the impression that I was being very petty, because it was just something very minor. But I said, I'm done. But it wasn't that minor thing. It was literally the straw that broke the camel's back. It was I was just done. It's been a whole list of things. And then this one little bitty thing is just more of the same. Yeah. Even if it's small, it's just more of the same.
But Shelly, are we wrong for letting the list get so long?
Yeah, I think so. I
Mhm.
know that for me, that part of my personality, I think, is both a blessing and a curse, because I really do. I mean, you guys know me. I look into the heart of the person, and I really do. Uh, I don't judge a person. I just try to understand them and try to understand their motivations. And because of that, I think I'm extremely forgiving to a fault, meaning, well, not, I guess forgiveness, there's no fault in it, but you know, I get blinded by forgiveness to the point where I can't see the damage that's being done. Mom, you told me something one time years ago that never left me, and you said, um, sometimes you didn't say it to me, but you used a metaphor. People, how did you say it? You said they plant their seeds in the ground, and then the seed grows and bears fruit, and then the fruit matures and then rots and drops back into the ground, and now the fruit is rotting and it's killing the ground, and you need to leave the ground, but you stay too long until the fruit is rotting. It was something like that you said. Do you remember?
Mm-mm. Now,
Because
I
I
remember,
butchered it.
I remember telling you something about relationship issues and stuff and friendships, but I can't remember how.
Yeah, it was something like that. Like your ground is no longer fertile. It's the fruit is rotting, and you stayed too
Yeah.
long.
Oh
And you
yes,
need to
I
plant your
remember.
yeah, you need to plant your seed in somewhere else in fertile ground. And I think that has been my issue, where I have stayed too long, put up with too much, dealt with too much, let too much go, not
Yeah.
did anything about it, stuffed it, and then it
Because we
comes
give people
out.
the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Let me put this up right quick. I'm backtracking because I want to answer this from Allison. She said, "But what if God is restoring that marriage?" She goes, "Yeah, that part would have side eye." Okay, so
What marriage?
I'm gonna answer that any marriage. Like, cause when I said the Lord told me go home,
And get
refinance
a
my house and
divorce.
get a divorce,
Yeah.
because my marriage was irreparable, and it was stuff. That person was putting my health at risk.
I'm gonna take the L on that.
Wait. No, but when she said, well, "What if God is restoring the marriage?"
I'm
If
gonna take the L on that.
you can't, if God is saying to stay with your husband or your wife. Now, come on, Nisi. Wait. I'm saying if God, you cannot, okay, if the sovereign God's will is that he's going to restore the marriage, then he is going to move, like he says in the Bible, move on the heart of the king. He's going to move on that husband's heart and on that wife's heart. He's going to do the work. The work is not up to you. So if
I'm gonna
he
take
said
the
he's
L
going
on
to do
that.
it,
But
then
he's
he's
gonna
going
have
to
to
keep
move
his
like
word.
Old Testament times,
I'm gonna take the L on that.
like it can't be no years and years and years, because
Right, and
like
it won't
Did
be.
you hear
It
me
won't
from the
be.
beginning? I
Yes.
said I'm gonna take the L on that.
Yes, I
Shut
heard.
up. It won't be. It won't be years and years and years. If God said he's going to do something, he's going to do it. And he knows that, especially if the marriage is in a broken state, he know you ain't got
But
no
here's
free
the thing.
to
But
wait for
here's the
that to be
thing.
fixed.
Here's the thing. I understand that point of view. But here's the thing about humans. You restore my marriage, God, and you know me. I'm gonna be thinking about that shit all the time. If he pour a glass of water, I'm gonna be thinking about it. If he go to the bathroom, I'm gonna be thinking about it.
But then
It's gonna be some real.
then you gotta pray for him to help you.
I'm gonna take the L on that, Alex. I'm gonna take the L on that.
Wait,
Because I know I can't do it. I'm not gonna even sit here and lie and say, "Oh yeah, I'll be able to do it." I'm gonna take the L on that.
Fix what's broken in me before I can even start a friendship or any kind of relationship. God is relationship. True. So
Exactly. That's what I said. Fix the broken part inside of you.
yeah, true. But okay, so what do you do if now we're trying to, before we end this, because this time that went by fast, it's almost 10 to 7. We are talking about why are relationships with women so hard. So say that you've decided, okay, I'm gonna forgive this person, whatever they've done, but this situation is toxic for me. It seems like it just doesn't get any better. And that person doesn't want it to end and keeps calling you or texting you. How do you deal with that?
I need to have a conversation with you, number one.
Yeah, I had that.
And explain to you how I really, really feel. No fillers, no cotton candy, no sugar on the side, the rawness of how I feel about the situation. And I need you to understand how I feel. And I need you to really receive what I'm saying. Now, if we have this conversation and you're sitting there saying, yeah, I understand. And, I'll never do it again. And I'm really sorry. And I apologize for my heart and this, that, and the third, I'm still suspect. Will I give you a second chance? I'm going to take the L on that.
I mean, here's the thing.
I'm just not going to do it.
I ended a relationship of more than 30 years, but 30 years of going through 30 years.
Yeah.
And it was that situation, Mom, what you just said,
You're talking about with a man, though. This is not with a woman. This is not a
talking about with a man. I'm talking about with a woman.
Oh, okay.
I know what she's talking about.
Yeah. I'm talking about with a woman.
Oh, I do now too. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I ain't had no 30-year relationship with no man.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
30 it felt like it though.
Yeah, it sure did, didn't it?
Lord. Yeah, it
did. Well, 30 years. And when she called to reconcile, at that point, we hadn't spoken in like 4 months, maybe 5 months. And I did just what Niecy said. I laid it out. And I told her, I know what love looks like. I know what it looks like. And what's going on between the two of us is that's not what love is. It's not what love is. The opposite of love. And so it is what it is. We just because we've known each other for this long and we have the relationship that we have doesn't mean that we have to speak. We don't have to speak. And if this is going to be more harmful to me, then I'm going to have to take my departure. Deuces. See you at the next wedding or funeral.
Right. See you on the take the L. I mean, and the relationships I was speaking of were 40 years. I had 40-year relationships, and I'm like, I can't do it. I'm not going to keep putting in the work. I'm not going to keep loving you. I'm not going to keep treating you good. I'm not going to keep being, a ride or die, and then you keep being treacherous and toxic to me.
Yep.
I can't. It's not fair to me as a person. Why do I have to be the one? People always say, well, be the bigger person. I am the bigger person. I took the L on that and I let you go.
Excuse me, Ronnie. I don't agree with this statement right here. I'm going to put it up. Oh, that was Aunt Riola. And I'm going to go back to Greta too. When it comes to emotions, there's no difference between a man and a woman. I don't agree with that. I think there's very much a difference between men and women when it comes to emotions. What I have learned is that it's first of all, the ability to communicate changes from decade to decade.
Yes.
A woman is different every 5 years. Every 5 years we change. We are not the same woman at 45 than we were at 25. God forbid you stay with her that long. You better learn how to work with her. And I will say when it comes to emotions, men get more emotional the older they get.
Yes, they do.
Being able to talk about it and say what's on their mind and be more forthcoming.
Yes.
A man in his 50s will talk way more to you than a man in his 30s.
True.
Correct.
As far as emotions. But there was something I wanted to put this up. Greta, I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about your marriage, not your current marriage, but a marriage, or are you talking about with a woman, a friendship with a woman? You said, yes, I've done it. And yes, it was a long process. And it took God the Almighty to help me through it. It was not easy, but it brought me victory in the end. So what are you talking about with that? But yeah, I feel like with the friendship with the woman, I will go back to, I feel like if you don't have a good relationship with your mother or none at all, you're gonna to me, you're gonna be the type of woman that's gonna have difficult times being a friend to women. I mean, examine the friendships, examine what you've gone through. And number two, I have saw where I had this discussion not too long ago. Growing up with a mother that gave you no affection, never said I loved you, never hugged you. I have saw those women rush to male relationships when they became adults to want to get that love and that affection, and then everything revolved around that man. And then they become really just self-centered when it comes to their needs and their wants, and they really don't have time to invest in a decent relationship with a female because they're so focused on their man and being with them that that's all that matters to them. And they've never had a nurturing situation. So they want all that from that man. And you ain't gonna never have a decent relationship with them as a friend.
No.
Because you're
Never.
gonna always be on the back burner. You're gonna be the type, they ain't gonna call you back right away. They're gonna be with you when it's convenient.
And the truth is, they have a relationship with their man either, because that's suffocating. That's suffocating. If you're expecting a man to give you everything that you did not get, from your childhood, and you don't have
the tools,
right? The tools to invest in relationships with other people, he's gonna be tired of that.
Exactly. And why is it? And here's my other thing. Why is it that people don't understand that maybe God said it's that season of that relationship is over? Why does it have to always be, if I forgave you, I still have to leave that door open? Maybe he said it's an end. It's done.
Yeah.
You don't have to go back. It doesn't always mean that we have to reconnect again. I will treat you nice when I see you in the store and say hello to you and wish you all the best. And I will actually pray for you. But to have you back into my life again, absolutely not. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. And I'm okay with it.
I'm going to tell you where I'm at in my life. I don't want to say struggling with the idea of how I'm going to change, because I know I'm going to get married. And I say, how am I going to change towards the women that have treated me a certain kind of way because I'm single when I get married? It's not going to be no revenge, but it's like you almost feel like I don't even want to fool with you no more, because you didn't do right by me. And then once you get married, oh girl, then they want you over their house with your husband. Now let's double date, all that kind of stuff.
TT, we're getting too old for that. We're getting too old for the games. And we're getting too old to have our heart broken over and over and over again. It's like, I love you, I want the best for you, but I've got a new set of friends, some people that treat me really well.
Yeah.
You didn't. So it's okay.
To me,
it's okay.
You need to have, Nisi, this is the way it should be. You want your friends to light up when they see you.
Thank you.
You want to have those kind of friends that, oh my God, I'm so happy that Nisi's coming over. We getting ready to have some fun. And it's not, you always party time, but you just want their eyes to light up when they see you, that they really love you.
I have one friend like that. She lives in Aurora, and we didn't speak for a whole year. And then one day I called her. She was like ecstatic to hear from me. She didn't say, oh, why are you calling me? I'm surprised you gave me a call. What's going on? She didn't give me any negative. She was just so happy to hear from me. She said, I am so happy to hear from you. Just what you've been doing. She was just happy.
Yes.
And that's what a friendship should be.
That's and the women that, like I said, didn't get the nurturing and love from their moms, and then they get a husband or whatever, a man, and then they worship the ground he walks on. That I have seen more than one situation. Those men never appreciate them.
No,
they're always, trying to do for them and make them feel special, and they're running up behind them and sucking up behind them and wanting them to love them, and they never get it in return the way they're looking for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I would agree with that.
Women treat men in the beginning the way they want to be treated, and then after the newness is worn off, they reflect how men treat them. So
I guess I'm a different kind of chick, though, because
that's a saying that I've heard. We treat men how we want to be treated in the beginning, and then we are a reflection of how they treat us later.
Maxine says their pain should not be an excuse for their bad behavior as a friend. You're absolutely right.
Absolutely.
You're absolutely right. And then Ronnie says it's about socialization. Your son should be the same as your daughter. Shelly, you can talk about Emir. You should love them equally so they're emotionally healthy and happy. You try to do that. Yes. You try to make him very rounded. I know that he will run, and you know how we always tease, the favorite grandson, favorite grandchild, all that kind of stuff. But like, Nana, wait, don't get the groceries. I'll get them, and he'll run and go get. That's from training.
Yes.
Nana, don't open the aisle. Wait, let me get the door. That's training.
Yes.
But yet I'll be out in the world and watch a man walk in front of me.
Yeah. And no respect whatsoever. None. Won't open the door for you. Will walk in front of you to get into the door before you. Won't hold the door so you can get in. None of that.
That's true. I've seen it. It's happened to me.
But
And
let me say this. Let me say this in the defense of the men. Us strong women have to quit saying, I'm okay, I got it. How many times have you been somewhere and a man has offered to do something? Oh, that's good. I got it. You know, to pick up a bag for you on the plane, to take your carry-on and throw it up over the overhead. How many times do we say
That's
we got
because
it?
that's because we're not used to men doing for us. And when they do for us, we're taken aback, like, no, I got this. I don't need you to help me. Because we're not used to it. We're not conditioned like some other cultures for men to open the door for us before we get in the car on our side and to open it up when we get out. We're not.
Wait. No,
I can go through a list.
Say, what are you sitting there for? When we get out the car and I'm still sitting in the car and he's standing at the hood looking at me talking about, what are you waiting on?
Exactly. I mean, we're not conditioned to be treated like we're special, we're loved, we're cared for. We're not treated like that at all. We're treated like, you know, she's strong. When she says she got it, she got it. But we're not used to it.
I've had like Greta. Greta said, oh, that ain't never been my problem, June. No, it hasn't, because Greta, I used to tell Greta, I feel like, oh, it's so hard for me to stand at the door and don't grab it and wait for the man to open it. But you got to train yourself to do it.
I have with my husband I have now, he does that. He opens the door, he does all of that. But prior to him, I was used to, because I was the man in all of my relationships. And it's unfair that women have to be the men in the relationship and you're with a man. You got to pay the bills. You got to cook, clean, take care of the kids. You got to open the door for yourself. You got to take the trash out. I mean, it's a list of things that we do that we shouldn't do.
That's because they let us do it because we did it.
Yeah.
They if we wouldn't do it, they would step up and do it. That's the problem.
Well, I don't know. There's some men that just won't do it. Even if you don't do it, girl, the trash will pile up and the house will stink. You have drain flies and all kinds. You have rats running through this mug. No.
That's but typically men will do. If you make them do, if you set a standard, they will meet it.
That's what I had the conversation the other day.
That's from
you have to set the standard. You have to set the standard. Look, I'm not going to let you sit home all day and not work and I pay all the bills. Right. We're not doing that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to set the standard.
I hate you have to do that though, because if we getting back to the conversation, like you
should already want to do it.
Emir is, you're right. You know, I did kind of train Emir to be chivalrous, but Emir has that personality and he is chivalrous and he wants to be helpful and he wants to take care of women. He feels like he's supposed to do that. You know what I mean? And so I know that I trained him for his wife, whomever she is, you know, so she don't have to train him. She don't have to set that standard because it's already been set for him. And I think it's a shame that we have to do that. We have to set these standards. Their mothers need to be doing that. So that when we get out there, I don't have to tell you that my expectation is that you take the garbage out and that you are a breadwinner in this household and that you take care of it. You're a man. You should want to do those things without me having to.
You know what, Shell?
One man, one son. I don't want to have to raise a man to know how to.
You know what, Shell? I think because when we get into relationships, sometimes we don't have those conversations with our partner. We don't sit down and say, okay, what are your goals? What are your future plans? How do you handle a household? What do you do if we're living together? You know, these are my expectations. You know, we don't have those conversations. We just assume that it's embedded in them or embedded in them and that they'll do it. And a lot of times it is not. We need to have those conversations. You know, we live together. You know, are you going to take out the trash? Are you going to open the door for me? I mean, we shouldn't have to have that conversation, but sometimes you have to because some men just aren't there.
That's true. That's true.
But anyway, we're gonna reel this back and close it out. It's 7:00 because we try to just do an hour. We don't keep everybody all night. But this was just to have some conversation about why it's so hard to have relationship with women. So I'm gonna let you guys have some parting words. What do you think needs to happen? What this is just opinions. We ain't clinicians. We ain't trying to, give no psychological, prescription on this, do this, and this will work. But what do you think is, something that you can say as parting advice for women that are really struggling with a relationship that is so disappointing, and it's not what they expected it to be with another woman, and they've been going through toxicity with them for a while now. What would you say to them?
I would say have a conversation with her. Let her know how you feel. Because a lot of times we as women, we're closed mouth. And we assume at some point some magical thing is going to happen and it's going to change. Sit down and have that conversation with that woman and let her know how you feel about your relationship. Because if you don't tell her, she'll never know. And then you'll wonder once the relationship is severed, we don't have closure. I didn't tell her how I felt. Tell her how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be rah-rah and kick up and argue. Just sit down and say, you know what, let's go out to dinner and we need to have a talk. Or let me come over there to your house and let's have a conversation. Have the conversation. With any relationship, you have to have a conversation. You just can't assume that that person is going to automatically know how you feel and why you're feeling this certain type of way.
Yeah.
You just can't. I'm the type of person, I don't just walk away from a relationship. I will have a conversation with you.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to know how I feel and what I'm feeling. And can we figure this out and work it out? And if we can't, then we have to part. And it's okay. But at least have that conversation.
True.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have that conversation.
I agree. I agree with Nisi. I think you do need to have a conversation. But I think it's important for you to assess whether or not, even before having the conversation, this relationship is leaving you empty or leaving you feeling bad most of the time. If it's not, if you're not getting fed in some way, you know what I mean, and you're just being taken, then I think sometimes it is necessary for you to either take a break or just decide whether or not this you need to walk away. It doesn't have to be permanent. It really doesn't. You can just set a person down for a little bit. And it might be that you need to grow. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? There might be areas that you need to grow in, and you could be making that or emptying out that person without even knowing. But you do need to have a conversation about it, and you need to make those assessments. I don't think it's a bad thing to say I need to take a break to get myself together, or to allow you to do that for yourself. This isn't working.
I'm going to take my turn by answering Vicky. Vicky said, June, getting married is like getting saved. You can't go out to eat every Saturday with the girls. I can't go to the clubs and on the girls' trips every 6 months anymore. Girlfriends get upset when this happens. And I know why. I'm thinking I know why Vicky said that, because when I said I don't know how I'm going to feel once I get married because of the way I've been treated being single. So I'm going to address that, Vicky. I totally get it. And I don't expect to run with married women. I've never wanted that kind of relationship where, like, your sister and me are good friends and we hang out. But even when I lived in Aurora, I wasn't at Greta's house every weekend. I mean, it would be months and she wouldn't see me come to her house. So I wasn't trying. And me and her never went places and hung out together as far as like, let's go and go to, a place to listen to live music, because I respect the marriage. What I'm talking about is being treated differently because I'm single. That, I think that might have gotten lost in the filter of communication. I'm talking about how married women treat me differently with trust issues because I'm single. So I'm saying when I get married, I don't even want to fool with them, period. Because, now I can be trusted to come to your house because I can bring my man with me. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, and then Greta said, in our age now, do you think we care necessarily about dealing with women's relationship? Not really. Not like it was. To me, that was more important because it's a part of your development. It was a part of your development psychologically, socially, and emotionally when you're in your 20s and 30s. But when you get in your 40s, 50s, and 60s, your friendship needs drop and your circles get smaller, and you start getting more laser focused on what's important in a friendship with women, and all that other riffraff can basically go to hell, so to speak.
That part
with it, so that's it, you guys.
I'm hungry, y'all.
So am I.
I'm starving.
So we're getting ready to go do dinner. Thank you guys for joining us. If you share the broadcast, I would love it. We would love it, because it's always good conversation for somebody to hear. And we will be back on again next month with another topic for Soul Food Sunday. So you guys have a great evening, and we will see you soon.